broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to a very, very special AfterBuzz TV Spotlight on. I am Kaori, Takee, and joining me is Christy Christy Olson.
Hey, everybody, I am Christy, but we have a very, very special guest with us today. A very special guest. She is the lioness of E's Total Divas. After some grueling training recently, she just returned to the ring with a fury, I might add. You know her for All Red Everything. We have got Eva Marie in studio today.
Yeah, we are so happy to have you here.
Thank you, ladies. I'm very excited.
Yeah, and if you guys think she's hot and gorgeous on Total Divas, in real life, it's even more incredible.
It's hot in here.
Yes.
I'm paying them to say that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. How has your trip through the WWE been so far?
It's definitely been a crazy journey, especially the last, I would say, few months, just because, I'm getting down and dirty and training. I got the opportunity to train with Brian Kendrick. He was a former WWE superstar, so that's been amazing. And then finally, I stepped in the ring last week, so I'm really excited.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that match you had?
Yeah, we can't wait to hear about this. There's a lot of talk in the WWE universe.
Yes.
Everyone's saying, a lot of people are saying you did really good. Yeah, and I'm like, I can't wait to see it.
Yes.
Is that how it felt?
It really did. It was, I don't even know. It was like such an incredible feeling. It felt like out-of-body type experience just because I hadn't stepped in the ring for so long, and to go out there. And the WWE universe, as well as the NXT universe, they let you know. They are very opinionated. They give it to you. So I love them to death, and they sure gave it to me that night, and it was awesome. So,
how do you deal with that scrutiny and the boos?
You know what, for me, it's amazing, because as long as the crowd is reacting in some certain type of way, that means you're doing something, Right. If they're quiet and they're taking snack breaks, or they're not there, or you can hear crickets, then you got to do something else, you got to turn them on some other way. So for me, last week was awesome because I got my initial boos, but then I got some Go Eva chants. So I kind of had the crowd split decision. So it was awesome. It was nice.
So on Total Divas, do you see yourself as a heel or a face?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know what? I don't know. That's a tough one, just because I'm not trying to really be either on the show. I'm just trying to do my job and get better at it. And it kind of, it might seem I'm being a little heelish in the sense of I can't really let what others, think of me get me down, because at the end of the day, I just want to be a great entertainer and a great performer for the WWE universe. And I'm just trying to get better at my craft so that I can go out there and perform super well with, my coworkers. So I don't know. Would you consider me a heel or a face? I'm not quite sure.
I think it depends on the season. I
think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Season 1, you were, the villainous.
100%. I had to come in there and let them know All Red Everything was, here to stay.
Yeah.
But now, in this season, I kind of think I'm a little bit of a face. But,
I think so.
You could take it as a heelish, too, because I'm kind of like, taking everything everyone's saying with a grain of salt. As the season, progresses, you see me kind of shaking off a lot more of what people are saying.
Well, yeah, because they've been coming down on you really hard these last few episodes, and I'm wondering, there's a lot of speculation that stems from jealousy. Do you agree?
I don't like to say, if other women are jealous of another, but I do think, when an opportunity presents itself, you take it by the bull by the horns and you just go, because it's all about hard work and what you do with that opportunity. So in the WWE, everybody's opportunity is very, very different. You know, everybody comes in a different way, and I really think the only thing that you could fault someone for is if they just kick back with their feet up and don't do anything with it. If somebody is out there and putting forth 110%, trying to get better or progress in whatever field they're in, then that's something, you know, that can say for. Other than that, I mean, you can't really say too much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe the girls are a little bit, but I'm not sure.
There's a chat question by Just Sites asking if there are any other superstars or divas besides Cameron and Trinity who have your back.
Yeah, who are your buddies in the WWE?
You know what? Those two definitely have my back for sure. I've been spending a lot of time at the Performance Center and with the NXT girls, and I have to say, I am loving the vibe down there. The girls are amazing. I mean, you could see just by their debut, Sasha, Charlotte, Becky killed it. They're amazing girls to work with, and Charlotte and Sasha definitely kind of put me under their wing. You know, when I went down to the Performance Center and you know, just answered a lot of questions and were willing to work with me, as well as Bailey too. But actually all the girls down there are super helpful, and everyone's striving to, you know, become the best entertainer they possibly can be. So it's nice. It's a great feeling.
Well, maybe a little switch up for you from Total Divas.
You know, I did say there needs to be a little bit of a change, so I think that's happening right now.
Oh yeah, I think the Divas division is exploding.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think of the Divas revolution?
Yeah.
I think right now is probably the best time for the Divas, just because, I mean, proof is in the pudding. Those three girls came up, they killed it, they stole the show, and it's everything that I think the main roster needed. You know, they needed some type of mix-up, and that's what NXT, the girls, have, you know, definitely done. So I think it's going to get even better, especially because, you know, there's so many things. I mean, for SummerSlam, NXT is going out there as well, and they're performing at the Barclays Center for NXT TakeOver. So it's just like sky's the limit. Each show is just raising the bar, and the girls are becoming amazing divas, superstars.
And last year at SummerSlam, you had a match against our very own Maria Menounos, and now you've obviously had more matches. How much do you think you've improved between then and now?
Oh my gosh, I don't even think I'm the same person.
Ooh.
When I had that match, that was my first match, like, ever.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was pretty scary, nerve-wracking, but also an amazing opportunity to go out there. So now, fast forward to Eva Marie right this second, I've totally advanced in the sense of, you know, my character and just being able to do certain moves and just understanding the entertainment aspect, as well as, you know, being able to perform inside the ring. So comparing me from then to now is just night and day.
Oh, we'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And can you kind of break down with us what you were doing with Brian Kendrick every day? You were there like several hours a day, every day for a long time, right?
I was, yes. Brian is amazing, and you know, we started from the basics, because I had to get surgery in October, and so
That's right.
that took me out, and then I made a promise to myself that, you know, when I came back to WWE, I was going to ask, you know, can I please step away and train? Just because when I first came into WWE, I think that's what the WWE universe forgets also, is I tried out to be a wrestler. I got my developmental contract for NXT and was not supposed to move for 3 months. And then since I lived out in Los Angeles, WWE presented this interview, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go ahead, I'll take it. And lo and behold, it was Total Divas. So everything changed for my life within 48 hours. Wow. So I wasn't supposed to move anything until, and just with the hopes and the dreams of making it to the main roster. Then I got an amazing opportunity with Total Divas, and I had no idea exactly what that was going to mean, you know, because no one knows, is it going to do well, what's going to happen. So I ended up taking that interview on a Friday. I got called Saturday saying I got it. I was on a plane to New York on Monday for WrestleMania in New York, and then I was dyeing my hair on a Tuesday.
That's crazy.
So that's how fast that kind of happened. And then, so learning on the road is quite difficult, just because of scheduling and constantly traveling and people are tired, so you don't really get that, one-on-one training as you do as in the performance center. So when I came back after my surgery this year, I went ahead and I asked Vince and Hunter, can I please step away from TV and really focus on training? And they both supported me 110%. So I was able to go ahead, and with Brian, we started from square one. I'm not a ex-gymnast or dancer. I feel those girls kind of pick it up a lot easier just because they're used to putting their bodies in different, positions. I'm a field athlete, so I'm like, anything on the ground, that's where I want to stay.
Nice.
So even doing like forward rolls, back rolls was definitely like, what am I doing? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So Brian and I kind of started there, and then we just progressed into where I am now. And in my match last week, in honor of him, well, it airs tonight, so I don't want to give away.
Spoiler alert.
I know. Talk about whoopsies. Make sure you watch on the WWE Network. My match tonight.
Well done.
8 p.m. Eastern. But I just learned some of his signature things that I can implement and just kind of pay my homage, my respect to him, because he took so much time and energy out of his everyday schedule to help me out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, Paris Dabney asks, does Eva think Nikki should have the title longer than AJ? And I'm going to add to that, who do you think is going to take Nikki's title?
You think they're holding out for you to be ready?
Maybe.
Yeah, I know.
They definitely need some heat over there. But I don't know. With the 3 girls that just got brought up, it could be anybody's game. So it'll be interesting to watch how everything kind of plays out. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Vince McMahon there, and the other girls have sort of repeatedly said on Total Divas, like, he has this soft place in his heart for you or something. Mm-hmm. What is your relationship with him? How often do you interact with him, and what does he say to you?
I don't know where that comes from. Because Vince and I's relationship is very much only when I see him. Mm-hmm. So and that's a rarity. Even when we're at TV or something, you don't really see him just walking around. Mm-hmm. He's very much either in a production meeting or in his office, and you got to kind of hunt him down if you want to speak to him. So for that, it's interesting just because my relationship with Vince is very, if I run into him, then, I'll see him one-on-one and have a conversation. But other than that, I don't know. I think it's just something that the girls can just kind of say.
Mm-hmm. Something to latch on to.
Exactly, because it's not anything out of the norm,
Mm-hmm. Have you talked to him since your matches a few days ago? Did he congratulate you? Is he telling you what to improve on?
You know what? I have not spoken to Vince, but I have spoken to Triple H, because Triple H is so hands-on with NXT, and he happened to be there that night too. Mm-hmm. He's always there at all the NXT Full Sail tapings, so I was able to speak with him, and he was very excited and very happy. So to have his support and his kind of stamp of approval that everything went super well was awesome.
And so, obviously you've got that bright red hair, and you definitely stand out. How do you get that wrestling look together?
It's a lot of just kind of trial and error, pulling some things, hoping that this works or this fits. And Brian actually helped me incorporate. Now I'm wearing a robe out to the ring.
Mm-hmm. It is badass.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to come out there because All Red Everything is my thing, from day one. That's kind of how I put it out. Originally, it came as a joke, just because when I dyed my hair red, I started hashtagging All Red Everything because literally everything would turn red. My pillowcases, red, shower, red, towels, red, sheets, and I would leave it everywhere. So it was kind of a funny joke my husband and I would make, because I'm oh my god, everything is red, seriously. But so for my first match back, I wanted to rock that to the fullest, not only with a red robe, but my gear completely from head to toe red, as well as my kick pad covers, they say All Red Everything on it. So I made a statement, said I'm bringing the heat, so nice. I better bring it.
We love it. And so just to clarify, from one of those very first episodes, they really wanted you to go blonde, and it was just you said, No,
Yeah.
I think red.
Good choice.
Yes.
Nice.
They did. They originally wanted me to go platinum blonde, and I couldn't do it. I was blonde in high school, and it was not cute. It just didn't work for me at all. And so I remember like sitting in that chair, and I was just like, I knew I needed something like they wanted, you know, dramatic, something different, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's work with this red.
I think even as a brunette, you look dramatic and different.
Oh, yeah, like at your wedding.
you.
I think that's maybe the only time we've seen you not
gosh.
have the red hair
Yeah.
since then. That was gorgeous, too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know it's crazy because like my dad still, I think when he sees me with red, he's still like,
Who's that girl?
who are you? You know, so it's like he definitely misses the black, but he embraces the red.
How's your family reacting to Total Divas, seeing you on TV all the time, and
Them being on themselves.
also your husband? How's the family reacting?
I think everyone is like, it's kind of this weird, surreal feeling, like it's not real, but it is, because clearly like we're on, you know, but everyone's really happy and they're super supportive. You know, this is something that I've always wanted to do, and the fact that I'm, you know, chasing it and doing it, my family is just behind me 110%.
Well, how is your dad's health right now?
You know what, he's really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
everything
that's
is
good to
good. He's amazing. I saw him over the 4th of July, so he's still his typical Barry Nelson self. So, yeah, he's good.
And Jonathan, too, what is his role? We saw you guys kind of struggle with this last season on Total Divas. What is his role in your career right now, and how is it working out?
You know what? Him and I are great. Like, he is kind of the same thing. You know, he manages a lot of stuff that I do, but we kind of have a little trio of a team now. So he's not taking on so much of the load, which is helpful too, just to kind of like salvage our relationship, so that way, you know, it's not so much business, even though I talk about it all the time. So it's definitely helped that for sure. So he's able to, you know, take on a lesser load with my stuff, and also be able to focus on like his work and what he's doing, and then of course making sure that him and I have that quality time together as well.
Yeah.
How do you stay so disciplined health-wise? I'm sure, like, you know, you choose what you eat and you pick your battles. And
It's a battle.
Yeah, right?
It is.
It's
oh my
tough.
gosh. And
You had some kind of waffle or some kind of big whipped creamy covered
yeah.
thing yesterday that I thought, wow, she can do
Yeah.
that? I love it.
it's all about, you know, like balance. I try, because it's rough, it's tough, you know, and especially when you're traveling on the road and stuff like that. And I'm very much an emotional eater, so you know, I try my best to stay as consistent as I possibly can, but with everything, you know, you got to have some balance. So, you know, you're allowed to cheat a little bit here and a little bit there.
Do you get that guilt feeling when you do?
Sometimes I do, but I'm trying to get a little bit better with that as well, so that, you know, the following day either I'll hit it a little bit harder in the gym, or I won't cheat for a longer period of time, you know. But when I do cheat, I cheat.
She goes all off the wagon.
I go in
Well,
for sure.
what's like your dream meal if you could eat anything?
You know what? My mom makes a killer. It's called an enchilada casserole, and it is so amazing. And you know what's so sad is that she made it for 4th of July, and I didn't even cheat.
On a holiday?
Goodness.
Yeah, because I had just started my regimen, my plan, and I was gearing up for this big match. So Jonathan was like, wow, really shocked, because normally, you know, you put something in front of my face, I'm like, okay, I'm eating it.
Yeah.
But that was definitely a tough one, but I got through it.
See how devoted she is, WWE Universe. Come on.
Saying no to your parents' food. My
Right?
goodness. I can never
know.
deny it.
No.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
My mom was shocked as well. She's like, wow, you're really trying this out. You're really doing it. I'm like, yeah, I have to.
That scene should be on Total Divas
I know,
season.
right? Showing the struggle, the internal struggle.
Struggle is real.
We did see you kind of be open about body image issues last season. What was the fan reaction to that?
You know what? It was really great. Like, everybody that reached out to me, everything was super positive. And for me, I was really skeptical and a little bit nervous to even show that side, because you never know how somebody is going to, you know, kind of take take whatever is being portrayed out there, but everybody was super positive, and it's just one of those things, I think, as a female or as a male, that we all can relate on, like, not every day is going to be amazing. You're not always going to have this fantastic outlook on life, period, it's certain trials and tribulations happen in your life, or, certain encounters, whether it's with family, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, so it's just showing kind of a side of me that that I deal with, and some days are great, and then some days are not so great, but I do know that on days that are not so great, that I root for midnight. It's going to be all right. The next day is going to be better. So it's just one of those things, like, it just shows another side of Eva Marie, another layer to me that I deal with.
And thanks for showing that to us as viewers. It really, because you're alien hot.
Thank you.
That is the phrase we use for you on the show
all the time. We're like, that girl's alien hot.
I'll add another 20 to that.
So the WWE 2K16 video game is coming out. Can you confirm that you're gonna be all red?
Lots of speculation.
All I can say is I was able to go and do a little shoot for them, so that was fun. And I've never gotten to do that for any other video game, so
it looks good.
I'm hoping. My fingers are crossed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're wondering too if you would be doing one of the WWE Fit Series DVDs.
I'm not sure.
No,
I mean,
you just
I would
seem
love
like the perfect
to.
candidate.
Hey, you know what? Maybe you need to make a phone call.
Right?
Yes.
Everybody, tweet into the WWE. Tell Steph and Triple H you want to see it.
Everybody, let Stephanie McMahon and Triple H know that, I should definitely be doing a Fit Series DVD.
We all want to know what she's doing and do the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. So your NXT match, was that recorded for possible Total Divas Season 5?
Yeah. Are we going to see this?
Yeah, we're going to see the behind the scenes.
You are. You're going to see a little bit of the behind the scenes and kind of getting prepared for it, just because, with WWE, everything is constantly changing. There's so many things that get taken into consideration, And initially, I thought I was going to have my first match a whole month prior, but then certain things happen, and creative decisions and certain things kind of, all get thrown into one, and then you just rock and roll with it. So that's what's awesome about Total Divas, is that you're going to kind of see kind of behind the scenes with that, because for me, my emotions, my adrenaline is like through the roof, ready to go, and then it doesn't happen, so then you got to, kind of come back down and regroup and realize, okay, cool, we're at this level. Then we go again in a couple weeks, so kind of dealing with those like highs and dealing with that is kind of cool to see Total Divas, because sometimes I'm like, get out of my face, I don't know. Especially because this match for me means so much, I'm like coming back into, because even before my surgery, I never really got to step in the ring. I would have like little matches, little things here and there, but nothing like this, like I just was on the house shows for NXT last week, and I was having, a singles with Bayley 10-minute matches. So for me, that's like, oh my gosh, I'm really finally stepping into why I became a WWE diva. So that's why getting embraced and doing the NXT show last week was such a big deal for me. It was very kind of full circle from when I first came into WWE, and then now being able to perform and feeling that confident and ready to go out there and put on a great show. It was a great feeling, and just to have the everybody after embrace me just was priceless, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so how long do you think it'll be till you're back on the main roster?
I don't know. Everything is changing, and like we were saying, for the divas, it's hot right now. They're changing the game, and I'm not quite sure. Hopefully soon. I'm actually flying out tomorrow to do the NXT Miami house show.
Oh, cool.
So I'm really excited about that. So hopefully, you know, after a few weeks of getting my feet wet, I could, you know, cause some drama up on the main roster and stir the pot up there a little bit.
I'm sure your presence is causing drama.
Right? Yeah.
According to Total Divas.
Well, we've seen a lot of divas sort of come and go from Total Divas.
Mm-hmm.
How does it work each season? Do they just shoot everyone, and then what makes it to air, or do people know when they're getting cut and there's animosity? How does that happen?
You know what? We do know before we go into a season. We don't know super in advance or anything like that, so it's very kind of shocking a little bit of who's, you know, going to be on it, who's not, what's, you know, who's the main cast. But I think for especially this season, they shoot everyone, you know? So you're going to get, you know, little bits and pieces of everybody in our locker room as opposed to just these 7 or these 8. You'll get, I think, I don't know, probably all 14 of us are on.
Yeah, well, we've seen a little bit of everyone.
With everything going on right now in the Divas division and how much you've evolved, do you feel still like you're a noob, or now do you feel a little more experienced, or more like a veteran? Or?
You know, I feel still very new, because even though I have the training and I've had my match, I still lack the experience that you can't really gain unless you're doing it, you know? So as the twins, you know, they've been in the business for almost 10 years. So they have that experience of, you know, going out, doing pay-per-views, doing a ton of Monday Night Raws, you know? That's where I lack. And I won't gain that until I'm actually doing it myself, you know? So I consider myself still new, still fresh to the game, because there's so much that I need to learn, and I'll continue doing that, like, as time progresses.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned Nikki Bella there. We saw a pretty contentious convo between the two of you yesterday on Total Divas. Now that that's had some time to sink in, it was at WrestleMania and you've watched the episode, how are you feeling about just that conversation?
You know, it definitely didn't kind of go, like, in my head, it played out a lot differently than how it went. But I have nothing but love for Nikki. I think really the main point that I was, you know, confronting her with was just like, you're my friend. Like, all I wanted was you to have my back a little bit. That was it, you know? And it escalated into kind of something way more than that, which is definitely was not the point at all. So, you know, looking back, I just kind of feel I wish it kind of stayed in that focus into what really was, you know, what our conversation was, you know, about. And it was really just about, you know, I was just hurt. She was my girl, she's my friend, and I just wanted her to have my back a little bit. And that was pretty much it. And then it just kind of escalated about, you know, wrestling and...
Well, yeah, this seems to stem from what we saw in the premiere episode, where they're upset that instead of training at the NXT Performance Center, you're out here in LA with Brian Kendrick. What's the real story behind them finding this out? I can assume you didn't lie to them.
No, I didn't.
We didn't buy that for one second, Eva, don't worry.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It just... I don't know. I don't really know where it kind of stemmed from, but there's definitely no lying involved whatsoever. And I go from here training with Brian, and then I'll go to the Performance Center and train there too. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around, like, why there was so much heat, you know, for me training when I'm just trying to get better at my job. So I'm still kind of trying to figure that one out as well.
So are we.
So if you guys find out, please, you know, give me a holler, let me know.
We talked about it for a whole hour last night, girl.
What would be your dream match? Your dream opponent?
Yeah.
And would you win? No, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely, I would win. I don't know. There's so many past divas, and well, you know what? Actually, Trish tweeted me the other day, and I seriously was like,
wow.
I can't believe I got a tweet from the one and only.
Yeah.
So I don't know, if I could have a match with her, that'd be pretty amazing. I mean, I just love Trish because of how she came into the business too, and how she evolved, and, you know, she's a Hall of Famer, you know, and talk about somebody that wasn't from a wrestling background and got a lot of heat, got a lot of flack, and changed the game and was killing it. So I really respect kind of her, how she came in and evolved. So I don't know. I think that would be a nice little fun match, singles with Trish for sure.
I'd be down to see that.
Right?
Yeah. Do you think Total Divas has helped the Divas division in the WWE, and if so or not, how so?
You know, I think Total Divas is awesome because it definitely opened a different demographic for WWE. I feel like there's so many people, you know, moms and little girls that normally wouldn't watch WWE, a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown, just because, you know, they have like some old stereotype image or whatever back in the day when it was WWF. So I feel like Total Divas has opened that door to you know, just a different audience for us. And also it kind of shows too the competition level, you know, like when you see a Monday Night Raw or when you see a SmackDown, all you see is just this amazing production and all these star athletes going out there and performing and doing things where you're just like in awe of. Total Divas gives a nice little insight where it's not all glitz and glam. You know, it's definitely hard work, and you see people having to struggle with relationships and personal issues that they have to deal with because we are on the road so many days. And I think that's what's so neat and different about Total Divas is that you kind of get to, you know, kind of open the door and see the kind of behind the scenes of all of that taking place and transpire. And then, of course, you see it's all a competition too because everybody wants to be that top girl. So you're going to see all of that transpire as well. So I think Total Divas definitely helped the brand and helped WWE just because it's kind of getting out, opening up the door because we're all female athletes. So it's kind of, you know, showing a different side of all of us, you know, as opposed to just the WWE diva or, you know, superstar. It's showing, you know, at home or dealing. I mean, my surgery was on the show, you know, and dealing with that and being brand new and then having, like, I was scared I was going to lose my job just because, you know, I hadn't been able to train or progress or do anything quite yet. And then right when I think I'm getting a little bit of momentum, this happens. And then it's just, you know, going through these trials and tribulations on television and people getting, you know, to kind of walk that journey with you is definitely different. And so I feel like it has helped and opened the door for not only WWE, but for all of us girls, too.
Do you regret anything that you've shown on the show? Anything you'd go back and keep private?
I mean, there's sometimes, you know, in the heat of the moment, I'm like, oh, but at the end of the day, I try my best to be as real as I possibly can on the show. And I think this season for me is the hardest because this is my job. And so it's definitely tough to have your peers, your coworkers, you know, speaking in like kind of a negative manner or chastising whatever you're trying to do or accomplish. So I think that was a little bit a tough pill to swallow just because it's really happening to me. You know, I'm really doing this. I'm really going through these certain obstacles. So I think that is a little bit tough, and I think that was probably the most difficult for me so far, which is crazy considering I had like so many other crazy issues that go on the show. But I think this one is just because it's so work related. You know, it's me and the girls that I work with and trying to progress and get better in my job. So I think that one is probably the toughest.
Is there something about you by looking at you we wouldn't know? I don't know, like you speak Spanish. I don't know.
Talk about that bachelor's degree, girl. And you don't get enough credit for that.
I don't. Let's do that.
Hey, I'm loving you.
Yeah, that's right. We do our research over here at ABTV.
I did go to college and I did graduate. Dang. I know, it's so funny because like my brothers and everything, you know, they'll throw it in there every now and then. I'll be like, oh yeah, you're really using that bachelor's degree now. But yeah, I think that is definitely one, you know, that I did finish school. I got my business degree, a minor in human resource, and
did you ever work behind a desk?
Oh yeah,
I can't imagine.
I can't quite picture that.
Yeah, right.
You know what? I did. I actually did. My dad, before, because he works for Smart and Final, he worked for Mother's Cookies at one point, and there was an office out here, and I remember being in college, and one of his like best friends, I'm like, Dad, I need a job, please. And so I remember working at that office for like a little bit, and it was basically I was like in charge of the orders of how many iced oatmeal cookies or whatever the store gets. And can you imagine, I used to go to all these like different grocery stores and have to like count the shelves and figure it out. I know, looking back, I'm like, how did I even do that?
What was your first job?
I was a lifeguard.
Oh, now see that I can picture.
Yeah, I was a lifeguard, and that was Tim McCarthy. Love him to death. He gave me my first job. I was 15, and it was just an awesome summer job. Go out, to be a lifeguard and in our like local kind of swim club. So, and I had that job I think for a good 3 years every summer.
I'm just imagining men pretending to drown.
Like, oh, there goes another one. Send Eva in.
It was a good job. That was probably my favorite.
Did you save people's lives?
I did.
Wow.
Nothing crazy. Nothing where it was like you're trying to resuscitate or giving like, oh my gosh, ambulance, people going nuts, But definitely having like to jump in and, grab someone. And it's kind of like, a little bit scary because, you don't really think on your watch someone's really going to go down. Oh, yeah. Especially because it wasn't like I was a lifeguard at a beach. Everyone there is like swim team, swim club. They're there with their parents. So, it's kind of like thinking everyone's fine. But there was, a couple of times where I had to get in there and, help some kids out. Yeah.
Somebody has a story to tell now if they remember you.
Right?
That's true.
I had black hair then, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll remember.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
Brent is asking, how was your experience? People keep asking about AJ Lee versus you. With AJ Lee backstage and in the ring, how was your experience with her? I guess because she wasn't on the reality show.
Right. For me, AJ was always great. Anytime that her and I had, any type of match or anything like that, she was great. I loved to work with her. She was, I had no problem with her. She was super great with me backstage as well as out, performing. So she was awesome.
Cool. Well, there may be some new divas coming up in NXT and WWE soon because we know that Tough Enough is going on.
Yeah.
And they'll all get very upset with me if I don't ask you if you've had time to be watching Tough Enough.
I have watched a little bit of Tough Enough, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your response to the criticism that there's not a whole lot of wrestling going on, or maybe these folks are too inexperienced to be having this experience? What do you think?
I think no matter what, you're not going to appease everybody.
Right.
And to be a part of WWE, there is so much more than just the wrestling part. Yes, we do perform out there, and you do have to be trained, and it's difficult, but there's so much like other things that go on to being a WWE superstar or diva. We do so much within the community. We do so much outside of the ring, and that's what's more, most important. Doing like, John Cena, Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
Doing those types of things. That's why being a part of WWE is so special, because in any other job, you don't really get those opportunities, to touch somebody's life and to be able to reach out to someone and make a real difference, So I think through Tough Enough, you got to go through so many different obstacles and get kind of broken down to see if you really want it and to see if you really want to be here, because being within the WWE is an honor, and whether or not whatever opportunity you get to like kind of come in the door, you really got to want to be here, because the travel alone is brutal, but everything that goes with the job is very special. So not everybody, not only can handle it, but should be able to get that gift, if they really don't want to be here. So I think with Tough Enough, I ran into Billy Gunn at the Performance Center, and I was like, dang, you be giving it to him on that show, man.
He's hardcore.
And it's one of those things where like you have to, you know, because you got to be able to get broken down a little bit so you can come back and show what you're really made of.
So which contestants are standing out to you?
You know, I felt for Sarah Lee last week because she was getting pretty hammered, you know. Chris Jericho was giving it to her when they were doing the improv last week, and then Paige was giving it to her as well. So I kind of felt for her because, you know, it's tough. And Billy was too, actually, in the ring, 'cause, you know, going up for a body slam, she wasn't getting it. And it's hard to get so, you know, be kind of scrutinized and kind of like broken down in front of your peers and then have to perform. So I felt for her. But another favorite is it Josh, the bun?
Yes, yeah, the big guy with the bun.
He's kind of a favorite too, so we'll see. What about you guys? Do you have favorites?
I love that you're watching. I think Chelsea might pull it out
think
just
so?
because she's got the most experience. Do you know her from her storyline with Daniel Bryan?
I met her once from that story.
Okay.
But I don't know her other than that. But they were giving it to her too because of her, you know, injury or whatnot or whatever was going on with that whole.
Yeah. Well, it really gives us a glimpse into what you sort of go through. Mm-hmm. So we're enjoying that, and I love that you found the time to watch too.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's fun, and it's cool to see, you know, Billy on there and Paige and Danny Bryan and Hulk. You know, it's fun, a nice little process too that gives the WWE universe a little insight too of just like crazy things that you have to be able to, you know, take before, you know, being actual WWE diva or superstar.
I know you're like super busy, but would you be down to do another competition show like Dancing with the Stars? Chris Jericho did it.
Oh my gosh, you would be so good on Dancing with the Stars. We'd have to start watching it again then.
Yeah, I think why not? I mean, I'm all about expanding, bringing like my Red Nation, all of them with me wherever I go. So if Dancing with the Stars called me up and was like, hey, what do you think about this? I mean, I would definitely have to go ask Vince, Hunter, and Stephanie, like, hey guys, would you be cool? But yeah, I think the more the merrier, and I think the more that all of us can do outside of WWE, all it does is help the WWE brand, you know, and that's what Total Divas has done. It's brought a whole different demographic that wouldn't normally watch the show, and now they're tuning in to a Monday Night Raw, or now they're actually going to a live event show or a house show or, you know, something like that. So I think with all of us, whatever we can get our hands into, I think it just helps the entire WWE brand.
What was that moment that you had? When was that moment when you felt, I am a WWE diva? What was that moment?
Last week.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just because for me, I take such pride in anything that I do. So soccer was my main sport. Every time I walked out on the field, that's my shit. I'm like, step to me, I know, like, this is my world. Before that, I felt totally like WWE Diva. I felt it, except I was lacking that confidence for the ring. Now I got it. So now, after last week, now I truly feel that Eva Marie, the WWE Diva, has arrived. Holler.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you still play a little soccer?
A little bit, not too much, just because that time doesn't really permit me to do so. But I mean, hello, the U.S. women's team, killed it.
Yeah.
Oh my! I definitely watched every single one of their games. Carly Lloyd, savage, killing it.
How do you juggle, you know, WWE and a marriage and a reality show at the same time? I mean, just how do you get it done?
I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things, you know. I love being busy. I'm very much I love being able to just like have so many things on my plate, and I guess it's more so just like all balancing. Balancing is the key for everything, and making sure, you're hitting whatever you have to do that day. But I try to take one task at a time, so it's like, this is on today's agenda, so you give it 110, and then you don't really focus until you're getting the next thing, or else other than that, I'll be so overwhelmed. I'll be like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, I have to do what? This, that? No. So I think that's kind of, and Jonathan is the one that actually taught me that, is just take each little thing a day at a time, and just like, knock out this first thing, second thing, and then by the end of the day, you knocked out 10 things, and now I'm laying in bed with him, and I'm like, hey, boo.
He seems to take really good care of you.
Yeah, and he's very wise.
He is. Well, Jonathan, a lot of people I don't think would know, he has an MBA.
Yeah.
He's a smart little cookie.
Ooh.
So, I don't know what I would do without him. He's definitely my right-hand man, and keeps me centered and focused, and just when I'm feeling like overwhelmed, he just, kind of centers me out and calms me down, and just kind of makes me come back to earth a little bit and not freak out. So he's great.
Oh, well, we've heard that they've had you here in LA hanging out with him because you need to be available for TV and movies and modeling gigs. Have you been doing that sort of stuff too?
I have.
Speaking of how little time you have on your plate.
Yeah, I've been definitely, putting my hand in little things here and there. So we'll see, what happens and transpires with all of that stuff.
Yeah. So you on the Total Divas, you exposed that you are under sobriety now. How's that been? Like, you exposed yourself, and it helps us as viewers.
Yeah.
And so thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what was your experience in sharing that?
Yeah.
It kind of came out I was like appreciative on how it came out within the show, because it was very organic and different, just because I wasn't quite sure if I really wanted to share that side of my life. And it's a touchy topic, just because I'm not quite sure how others, it's not like I'm this fragile person or anything like that, but it's just something that I deal with on a daily basis. But the feedback was awesome. A man actually came up to me a couple weeks ago just to say thank you, and tell me his sobriety date, and how much it meant to him and his family, because of his little girls watched the show. So to him it meant so much more, and that's what it, for me, is what it's about. It's kind of being able to touch somebody else's life, and we all have these little things that we go through, and it's okay. Nobody is perfect, and that's all right. It's just, as long as you handle it and you take care of it, and you do what you're supposed to do, then that's what's important, and I feel like it's something that I don't really talk about too much, and it I think it only came up probably once or so in the show, but it was just enough to let people know that is a side of me. It's what I do go through, what I do struggle with, but it's made me who I am today. So
Yeah. What do you think is the most rewarding experience being part of the WWE?
Oh man, there's so many. Because it gets, I fulfill so many of my dreams within WWE. Just being able to entertain and use that athleticism. But like I mentioned earlier, I think for me, the biggest reward is everything we do outside the ring. Like, I got to go to Afghanistan and visit the troops. I got to work with Special Olympics, doing those things within our community and within the WWE, and being able to, just go out and reach someone that either normally wouldn't watch WWE, or be able to have a conversation with this little kid or this little girl and kind of hear their story or whatever they're going through, and make that change, be that light in their life for that day. I think that is the most rewarding, because I don't really know too many other jobs that get to do that.
Yeah.
So that's what makes being with WWE so special.
Well, speaking of kids, there's a lot of talk on Total Divas always about who's going to have babies and who's not. And not that we're putting that social pressure on you, because there's a lot more important things that a woman can do. Yeah, she texted us.
Yes.
She told us to push it.
She's like, ask this question.
Totally.
So anytime soon at all?
No, I don't think anytime soon. Just because I feel, like I said, I feel like I just arrived within WWE, so there's so many things that I want to accomplish within as a performer. But, maybe in the next 5 years or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Right now, I'm just enjoying kind of our time, Jonathan and Mai's time, and kind of, getting back into WWE in the ring. And
Is Jonathan antsy for it?
You know what? If he... Well, yes and no, because he did say I am basically enough in the sense of I am the baby. Like, he takes care of me, so he has his hands full.
Is there another Jonathan you know?
Yeah, right?
I mean,
We were wondering that a couple episodes. Does he have brothers?
He does. He has two.
Okay.
okay.
But yeah, it was funny because the other night he was like, I don't know. I mean, you're, a baby enough. He's like, I don't know if I can handle another one of you. I'm like, I know. And I don't think I want to be like, I just think right now, we're good with just him and I. But in the future, for sure. Especially all my brothers are having babies. My oldest brother, his wife is going to pop in like 3 months. And that'll be his first. And then my 2 other brothers have 2 each.
Yeah, you got a big family.
I do. Mexican Italian. Jeez.
And you love being an auntie, right?
I do, exactly. Because I could go like this. Oh, I love you. There you go.
See you later.
Exactly. Here's a gift. See you later. It was funny because one Christmas, my oldest brother and I, for our middle brother, bought our nephew like the loudest toy ever. And when he opened it, our brother looked at us like, wow, really? Thanks a lot, because now I'm going to be up dealing with this damn toy. So, it's fun to kind of play with my brothers that way.
Do you buy every Eva Marie thing on merchandise?
Do I? No. Does my mom? Really? Yes. I think
That's so cute.
I think my mom is literally my biggest fan. She's the best, and I love her just because there's just been so much that myself and all my brothers have put my parents through. Like, man, I look at my parents and I'm just like, how did you guys even do this? So I think that's what's nice and refreshing for me, is that both my parents get to see me actually living my dream and what I had said that I was going to do 10 years ago, and it just took me a long time to get here. That's the best feeling for me, to actually look at them and they're watching me do it.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Eva, so much for this
Absolutely.
experience. You can always join us on our after show.
Yeah, we knew you were going to be all candid and cool.
Oh, thank you. You
Yeah.
guys are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Please have me back.
I wish we could go on forever. I really do wish we can go on forever. But in the meantime, where can people follow you? When's your next match?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be in Miami for NXT this weekend, so I will be at the shows Friday and Saturday. And then follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Natalie Eva Marie.
Right.
right, sweet.
Don't worry, we already got you covered.
Perfect.
Follow.
Yes.
And I'm Christy Olson. You guys can always follow me at Christy Reports, that you can keep up with the Total Divas After Show and the Tough Enough After Show and all the other cool wrestling programming that we have here at ABTV.
Yeah, so pretty much what we do is we watch the show together and then we get in and we just talk about it.
Nice.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you can follow me at Kaori. And thank you guys so much for this AfterBuzz Spotlight on and joining us. And thank you, Eva Marie, so
Thank
much.
you guys. Thank you.
So much. And for the AfterBuzz team, we'll catch you guys soon.
Watch the Total Divas After Show. Bye-bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.